Welcome back, Dylan with Beamer Tech back at it again for another overview on some of our products. Speaking of which, here's an overview on our Alpha 1 speakers by Beamer Tech. Factory speakers from BMW are lacking. Even cranking up the volume with your factory amp can lead to poor results, so you can forget about using factory speakers if you have an aftermarket amp, which, by the way, if you haven't seen our video on our Alpha 1 amplifier, go check that out, link in the description. But today we're going to be focusing on each individual speaker that we offer and how they could transform the audio experience in your BMW. Now let's go down the line with the speakers that we offer, starting with our tweeters, our A10s. We have 3 different variants depending on where you find them in the vehicle. Our most common one is going to be our A10R or round, and this is going to be our most common door tweeter, but you could find them sometimes in the center cluster as well. Moving on down the line, our A10L, our side oval. This is going to be most common in places like the center cluster, rear deck lid, and places like that. And finally, our A10F, our other oval one, which is going to be found also in places like the center cluster, rear deck lid, and other places such as that. Moving over to the mids, we have 2, our A40 and A45. The A40 is going to be most commonly found in the center cluster, rear doors, C or D pillar, and rear deck lids. Our A45 is our most common front door speaker, but you could also find them sometimes in the rear doors as well. And finally, our A90 woofers. Now these come in different resistances depending on your setup. Now let's cover some of the non-speaker parts you may come across. Depending on your BMW, you might have some extra parts in your kit, so let's go over that. First off, this filter cable will be included for every mid that you need installed. This end gets plugged into that mid, and the lead from your amp will get plugged in over here. We'll go over this in a little bit more detail in just a little bit. Now, if your factory sub is glued to your housing, first off, I'm sorry, it sucks, but we're going to include these self-tapping screws to secure the new A90 woofer to that housing. Now, certain vehicles have unique mounting locations that are going to need spacers to ensure the mids fit, and we include all that for you, all the hardware and adapters that you need to make sure that that happens. One of the key features that separates our speakers from other manufacturers is that our speakers are completely plug and play. You literally just unplug the old speaker, remove it, install the new speaker with filter cable if needed, plug it in, and you're done. While installation is super easy, I do want to take a second to talk about these filter cables since we do get asked about them from time to time. Now, when installing your mids, you're going to take this end of your filter cable and install it in one of the ports on your mid, just like so. And then you're going to take your tweeter or the lead from your tweeter and it goes into the other one, just like that. And then the output from your amp is going to go right here. Simple. Done. Now you can see this in full effect in the PDF instructions that we send you when you place your order or in an applicable YouTube video on our channel. Now I've been talking about some of the technical information and install stuff regarding these speakers, but you might be asking yourself, why should I spend the money on these? What makes them better than the competition? Well, aside from the plug and play nature, it's the sound. The material used to craft these speakers are leaps and bounds better than anything BMW will offer from the factory on a bass or hi-fi system, and even still better than the higher end systems like Harman Kardon. The tweeters are going to deliver those crisp highs, the mids are going to deliver those clear mid-range tones, and the subs are going to give you those deep, rich lows. Now the construction of these speakers allows for greater input signal without the possibility of distortion, so in other words, you could crank up the volume without worry. Now these speakers are a must if you're running an aftermarket amp like our Alpha 1 amps. While our Alpha 1 amps are designed to work within the limits of the factory speakers are not designed to work within the limits of our amp. So there you have it, that's our quick overview guide on our Alpha 1 speakers by Beamer Tech. If you want to see more information about these speakers, go check out the tons of videos we have on our YouTube channel about how these pair with our amps, installs, overview, reactions, and more. Also check out our website for tons of written articles about all of our Alpha 1 systems. For more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Minis, and Supras, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. And hey, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.